Hey, welcome back. I have a new knife here. And this one I already took out of the box just because I needed the box to send another knife. So I already know what it is, but I have not yet opened it up. Wanted to save that for the channel here, which was very hard for the last day. But this is a Brown Knives Mini FSD. Ooh, crisp, direct from Craig Brown. And there it is. And I won one of the custom spots. I was able to pick my pattern, my Anna, all that stuff. Well, I went with exactly what I wanted. This is number 313 and CPM 154. Super simple. It's the pattern 2 Mini FSD. And I don't know if I've obviously only bought these on the secondary. I actually won this on a drop. This is my first one that I've won on a, I don't know if you even call it a lottery. But yeah, it feels like almost a little, again, I don't know if it's just new, but like a little matte, a little more matte than I'm used to. I expect it to feel a little more slick. So I don't know if that's just because it's brand new and it hasn't gotten some, wear in yet or whatever, but yeah, it just feels very crisp. You can really hear the finger sliding over everything and has nice little traction to it. I don't know if maybe that's how the other ones are. I'd have to go double check, but I had a lot of choices and Craig Brown just brought out a new pattern. It looks kind of like a Nutter Butter where like instead of kind of frag pattern-ish like this, it's a bunch of holes that are kind of milled into it. I wasn't really feeling it. It's not bad, but I just think this is one of the best milling patterns I've ever seen. So when I had the choice to get this at table price, straight from Blaine, USA. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Boom. Blaine, Washington, USA. Super cool. Yeah, I just went for the pattern 2. I already had one like this, but I had sold it. And literally that day that I sold it, I won the drop. But I was just trying to get down some of my secondary priced knife collection and transfer some of that into either table price knives, or if I didn't really need 2 of a version. Like I had 3 or 4 of these at one point I had paid secondary price on. It was crazy. So I had reduced it. Do I have one right here? I did. I had reduced it to just this one other one, which was Mini FSD prototype number 1. This is by far my favorite one. Proto 1 right there. Again, this thing, I don't know if the finish is different now, if it's like more dark washed a little bit. You may have changed it. So that might be a slight nuance there. I don't know if that's just a difference of pattern 2 or what, but this is definitely a more, now I gotta take a look. Let's see. Here is, this guy's, I don't know which one I'd say that's more like. I guess more like this one maybe. Yeah, this one's darker. So I think he's like dark washing it a little bit or something. I don't know, I could be off on this, but it feels like the finish is a little different. Man, just so good. Anyway, was very excited to win one of these at table price. And yeah, Craig was really cool about it. He actually he held off. He said, I'm doing a new milling pattern. You want to hold off and see what you think before you have your custom made? And I said, yes. And he did that. And then I saw the new milling and I was like, you know what? I'd buy it because it's new, but I'd buy this one because I love it. So I'm going to buy the one I love. And so here we go. And when you get a knife like this at table price, I feel like it's a little more comfortable, sorry, let me turn off my chat on my computer really quickly. I feel like it's a little more comfortable to potentially carry it, use it, maybe you sell it, for the same price later. Whereas if you go buy one on the secondary, you pay so much extra. If you're like really afraid to use it and depreciate it at all because the price is so freaking high. So I'm really excited to have this. I'm just kind of curious if there are any differences here aside from that finish from the prototype to now. This certainly feels slicker here. This feels better for like traction for deployment, which is good. This feels similar. Maybe it is a little slicker on this original one. So I don't know if he did that on purpose or if that's a byproduct of the finish difference, but it makes it feel a little less slippery when you're going to deploy it, which is nice. Oh, almost forgot. So this is the certificate of authenticity. I feel like that bag might be a little different than the older one. Yeah, that's right. It used to have a little bubble wrap. I don't know if that's just a what was available thing or whatever, but maybe because this was the prototype, he included a second sticker. That's kind of interesting. Little difference there. And yeah, I'm just very happy to have it. It's such a cool knife. Again, if you don't know the channel well, I live in Bellingham, Washington. So Craig does these knives about 20-30 minutes from where I live. You know, I actually forgot to mention this, but he and I were chatting the other day. He knows I've done some content on his knives. I did the whole Brown collection video, and I actually sent that to him to review, and he gave me some good feedback on it, which I put some of the corrections in the notes, which was very nice of him to review that. But he actually said I might be able to get by and look at, you know, when he's freed up. He's got a lot. I think he's going to probably go for 400, 500 of these. I'm going to make a comment about that in a second. But when he has more time, he'd be willing for me to come by and check it out. It'd be really neat to be able to share some of that with you all. If maybe he lets me take some pictures of his, you know, where he makes these. But what's remarkable about Brown Knives, that it is one person that makes, you know, this is number 313. He's probably going to do 400, maybe even 500 of these mini FSDs. And that's all since October of 2022. And we're in May of 2023. So he's doing more than 300 knives a year now. He's doing more than a knife a day. He's actually tracking close to 2 knives a day. The guy works like crazy, but man, can you think of another manufacturer that's one person operation that ships 400, 500 knives a year? That does, you know, that's, I don't know. I'm struggling to think of one. I don't think Oz did that many. I could be off on that, but maybe he did. And I don't know, you know, obviously there's a ton of knife makers, so I don't know them all, but that's pretty remarkable if you think about it. How many knives he's doing with a one-man shop. Very impressive. How's the edge on this guy? Feels pretty good, actually. See if I can tell the difference from prototype sharpening to full production sharpening. This isn't bad either. Here's the thing about these edges is they may not be like paper cutting sharp, but they'll do most of what you need them to do, if we're being honest. Opening packages and all that stuff. We don't need to slice tomatoes with our pocket knives, if we're being honest. That's not to say I don't sharpen my knives to that level, because that is exactly what I do. I sharpen them to a level where they can absolutely make a tomato feel pain. Anyway. Such a neat knife. The button, very unique, being on the, for a righty, being on the handle side is kind of interesting. There's some nuances to that, but it's just a beautiful piece of artwork as knives go, and really something special in terms of engineering and design. And yeah, their overall user experience for this thing is just a pleasure. So very excited to get one of those, be the first one to own it and know it's all right. And yeah, that's a really cool piece to win on a drop. And yeah, I don't know, I'd have to go ask around. I got to see if he's doing something different here with this finish. He might be. I've never noticed that before. And I did have some later models, but that might be something kind of newer there. So I like that. Very cool. Get a little close-up on that for you. Sort of dark washed or dark stone washed on the finish there. that is quite a bit different. Let's go side by side here. I'll just play around with the light a little bit, but looks different there. So that's cool. I like it. It feels really good in the hand. So yeah, all for now. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.